Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at what is being labeled as an opinion piece from the Washington Examiner. When I look at this, I don't see this as an opinion piece because they're reporting on the fact of what these House Republicans are doing. So it could be considered a news story. I mean, it might have a little bit of opinion in it, but it's not like CNN or MSNBC or, Fox News type of opinion type stuff. It's written by Paul Bedard, who's, the Washington Secret's columnist. It was published on December 4th. Look at the title here. 20 House Republicans demand Barr investigate suitcases of ballots in Georgia. Now, like I said in previous videos that I've been doing since I'm sitting here doing this session of recording, they're trying to use the fact that they're being referred to as suitcases, all right, as a way to discredit what happened with pulling these out from under the table, these clamshell cases, which they try to make them sound like they're these special cases meant for ballots. They're just a standard clamshell case. You can go and order these things online. And they're trying to be like, it's a special ballot counting case, ballot storage case or whatever. It's like, no, it's a clamshell case that you or I or anyone else can go and buy online. They're used to store like video equipment. They're used to store other things too. If you've got something that's fragile, you pack them with foam, you have the foam cut out for the item, and it protects them. That's what these cases are used for primarily. Not for securing ballots, but they're trying to make it sound like it's a special ballot case, and because it's a special ballot case, it's completely discredited because they're being referred to as suitcases, and they're trying to say, oh, well, these cases were just, put there during the day under the table. When you look, they weren't. According to the old, video footage, we're supposed to believe our eyes are lying worth watching. We're supposed to just ignore the fact that there was no cases slid under that table during the progression of the day. We're just supposed to ignore that fact and accept that they were. When you watch the lady sliding this table in that weighs a couple pounds and she's struggling to do it, it's like they put like a table or like a board or something suspended under the legs and they rested it on it, and she's struggling to get these 4 clamshells full of ballots and the table into place. You can see her struggling with it, and they think we're stupid. So these 20 House Republicans aren't, though. Some 20 House Republicans showing dissatisfaction with the Justice Department's lax approach to national charges of voting fraud demand today that Attorney General William Barr open an investigation into the Georgia election. Maybe, pressure from them. People calling up the DOJ and saying, look, get off your asses and actually do something. Maybe we might see something accomplished because they actually just expect people to go back to sleep. I mean, Barr is an establishment Republican type. I trusted him as far as I could, as far as I could throw him with my pinky, okay, with wrist weights, 20-pound wrist weights on. Yeah, seriously. That's how much I trust him, is as far as I can throw him like that. Okay, and that would be with dark matter in his pockets. Yeah, because he's an establishment hack. I didn't trust him from day one. I figured he might be a useful tool, but even then, he kept the status quo. He basically blew smoke up people's asses. He didn't even, actually, be useful to Trump. He's kind of been a hindrance. Like with the investigation into the Russian investigation. Now this. So good for them for demanding that he look in, start open an investigation. Citing video showing suitcases of ballots during the counting, the 20 lawmakers led by Alabama Rep. Mo Brooks and including incoming members also urged Barr to issue a restraining order or temporary injunction to block groups suspected of registering illegal or invalid voters from the upcoming Georgia Senate runoff election. That's real smart. Especially with the fact of you've got Democrats saying, move to Georgia, register to vote in it when it's illegal to do that. Be a good idea. Brooks, who has already pledged to challenge state electoral college votes in the House, said, the evidence is overwhelming that Georgia's election process has been corrupted by voter fraud and election theft. The perpetrators of these heinous acts must be investigated as appropriate, prosecuted to the fullest. Yeah, they should be. And here he is, the video, okay, of what they did. And this table right here, okay, you see the lady that they say with blonde braids. It's actually curls. She's struggling to slide this table over to here. All right, these are those standard plastic tables that you can buy at like Walmart. People will use them at a party to say put food on, or they'll use them as like a quote unquote banquet table type thing. They used to be made out of wood and they would fold in half. They still fold in half, but they were made of like oriented strand board and had wood veneer on them, and then they had like the vinyl edge tape around the edges. It was usually like black or whatever. Well, they updated those to plastic, and they weigh next to nothing. All right, they're injection molded plastic, each half of the table that folds. They weigh a couple pounds with the metal legs on them, and she's struggling to move this table into position. And we're supposed to believe that the ballots that were never put there under the table during the progression of the day, all right, were put there, and that the ballots that were being pulled out were those ballots. They really think people are stupid on this. He cited a hearing in Georgia yesterday that drew new concerns of ballot stuffing in order to throw the election for Joe Biden in a state President Trump was expected to win. Yeah, he was expected to win Georgia, but hey, let's just ignore the fact of these ballots here and all this shady stuff. Let's just ignore everything. Let's just trust them. Yeah. Okay, sure, right. Brooks said in a statement shared with Secrets, no one should ever be allowed to bring an estimated 15 to 18,000 ballots to a vote counting facility in suitcases. Hide those suitcases under a table before the vote counting facility opens. And at roughly 10:30 p.m. at night, declare that vote tabulation is finished for the night and will resume at 8:30 a.m. the next day. Order all poll watchers and media to leave the facility, and then once the facility is reduced to a bare minimum of 5 co-workers and possibly criminal co-conspirators, with no poll watchers present, roll out the suitcases from their hiding place, withdraw thousands of ballots, and stuff the vote counting machines with what appears to be, by the conduct observed, illegal and fraudulent ballots. You think? You think? You think that no one ever should ever be allowed? You seriously think that? Because, hell, I think pretty much anyone that's rational and calm and not some spurging out leftist would agree with you on that. But we're supposed to just be like, oh yeah, nothing to see here. We're just supposed to accept that analysis of it. Sure. Okay. Yet that is exactly what a newly released video of a polling location reveals. Yeah, we're supposed to just accept it. It's so funny. Seriously, it is so funny that they're trying to pull this. Anyway, Barr has been under fire for his recent statement that the department hasn't seen enough fraud to change the results showing a Biden victory. Now, if you look at what he said and how it was worded, they basically are he's admitting that they found fraud, implying that it was massive fraud. But then he's saying at the same time, it wouldn't affect the election. What kind of crack smoking idiot on a bender do you think you're pushing that narrative to? Because I'm not some crack smoking person on a bender. Most of the Americans are not crack smoking on a bender. Because that's the only way. You'd have to be high on rock to believe this. Well, maybe meth. You'd have to be on like a week-long bender, no sleep, be hallucinating to buy into this. It would be a low information, low IQ, low education lefty. Because those ones that go, well, I got a college education. Well, obviously you're not actually educated when you buy really stupid shit. Because education is supposed to broaden your horizons. Education is about expanding them. It's about expanding your knowledge base. And none of you want to do that. And you claim, oh, I'm educated. I'm educated. I'm educated. No, you're not. We're supposed to be the stupid ones and buy this. Come on now. Oh, God. But anyway, so hasn't seen enough fraud to change the results showing a Biden victory. We're supposed to say, oh, well, there's fraud. From the sounds of it, massive fraud. But it didn't change the election. Okay. Trump has since been mulling firing his loyal lieutenant. Yeah, he should boot his ass out. Excuse me. Below is the letter and a list of those who signed it. Excuse me. December 4, 2020. The Honorable William Barr, Attorney General, U.S. Department of Justice, 950 Pennsylvania Avenue, blah, 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 blah. Dear Attorney General Barr, two pillars of a successful republic are election integrity and confidence in our democratic process. As Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, every time I see that name, Raffensperger, I just go, oh my God, because he is a spurg. But anyway, so Brad Raffensperger revealed Monday that his office is investigating multiple organizations attempting to register illegal and invalid voters in Georgia. Yeah, it's all lip service. He's not lifting a finger with this. He's covering up for them pulling clamshells of ballots out of their asses. So yeah, we should really trust him on that one. We should really think he's actually doing an investigation, but whatever. As the Georgia Secretary of State, as the Georgia Secretary of State's office lacks prosecutorial power, we ask that the Department of Justice simultaneously investigate and prosecute this illegal behavior under federal law. Additionally, we ask that you use your authority as Attorney General to issue a preliminary order preventing any organization from registering illegal and invalid voters in the upcoming January 5th Georgia U.S. Senate runoff elections. By way of background, these organizations stand accused of registering a deceased Alabama voter, encouraging illegal voting by out-of-state residents, as well as knowingly sending Georgia voter registration applications out of state, as far as New York. Allegedly, Operation New Voter Registration Georgia encouraged college students to temporarily change their residency so that they could vote in the runoff elections, which is illegal under multiple federal statutes. Yes, so you've got the Democrats, calling for this. You've got people like on the media, like on CNN and MSNBC, they're all calling for people to congregate to Georgia, register, and vote in this. And we're supposed to look at them doing this. We're supposed to look at everything with this election. We're supposed to look at all of it and go, this is legit and it's above board. Oh, yeah, we're just supposed to, yeah. They don't even care about, being blatant and brazen about their theft of an election. They don't care. And they're doing this, and then we're literally being told, well, that's not what's happening. Like, we're stupid. Seriously, this is some sad, sad shit here. We've reached a sad state in this nation, okay? This is the type of stuff that goes on in a banana republic or a Marxist / communist / socialist on the note of authoritarian socialism. Well, actually, all socialism is authoritarian. Who am I kidding? But in those types of countries, socialist, communist, Marxist, banana republics, tin pot dictatorships, the stuff that went on in this election that looks like it's going to take place in January with this runoff, that's where this type of stuff happens. And we're supposed to be promoting democracy and free and fair elections around the world. What country's going to let the U.S. come in and set up free and fair elections for them when we can't even have a free and fair election in our own damn country? And you got Joe Biden talking about and his globalist shit pig lackeys and friends going, oh, America's back. So you're going to force you're going to go into these nations and then force democratic principles and free and fair elections and all that, supposedly, like you did in Afghanistan and Iraq and all that. And they're supposed to accept that they can trust you on a free and fair election when we can't even have one in this country. It's like, what are you smoking to believe that that's something that's going to fly? You got to be higher than a kite. You got to be on grade A, pharmaceutical grade, levels of quality for the drugs you're on. You got to be on something that type of quality. So anyway, which is illegal. All right. So anyway, so that they could vote in runoff elections, which is illegal under multiple federal statutes. See 252 U.S.C. 10307C and 18 U.S.C. 37. Reportedly, Vote Forward attempted to register a dead voter, which is also illegal under federal statute. You think? See 52 U.S.C. blah 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 10307E 20,511-2. America Votes and New Georgia Project, founded by Stacey Abrams, both are accused of sending voter registration applications to invalid addresses. You think crooked as shit Stacey Abrams isn't going to do something like that? Of course she is. She made a backroom deal with Raffensperger, okay, and the Democrats on the ballots, on mail-in ballots and absentee ballots, okay, that completely opened the door for this situation to happen. Of course she's going to do stuff like this when she's doing stuff like that. Federal law gives the Attorney General the authority to issue preliminary relief when there are reasonable grounds to believe that any person is about to engage in any election offense. See 52 U.S.C. 10308D, Part 6 or Section 6 maybe. We strongly urge you to use your authority as Attorney General to issue a restraining order or temporary injunction preventing organizations from registering illegal and invalid voters in the upcoming election. Swift action is needed to ensure that illegal votes do not dilute the rights of legal voters. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. Okay, well, get on his ass about the clamshells full of ballots that they're trying to act like was completely legit. Oh, they were just put under there during the day when there was no evidence that they were. They were literally, you watch her drag the table. She's struggling. Which the only explanation is 4 clamshells of ballots, full of ballots, were being suspended under the table on a shelf or something that was rigged. Common sense dictates that one. When you can take the table, pick it up with 2 hands, okay, and not struggle to do it. A child can pick up these tables because they're so light. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is seriously ridiculous. They Barr ain't doing anything. Georgia, the Republicans are like thinking that they can just browbeat, including the Republicans besides in Georgia with like the state GOP, but the national GOP. They honestly think that they can guilt and browbeat Trump supporters, who are the base of the Republican Party, into shutting up and accepting this and just voting for them there in Georgia. You guys are high on crack if you think that, or meth, or some other drug that completely messes with your perceptions like that. And this is ridiculous. It seriously is that they think that this shit's going to fly, that people aren't going to realize this, that people aren't going to weaponize their vote. I personally think you should weaponize your vote. The only way these assholes are going to realize that they work for us is by weaponizing your vote. If they don't want to do what they're supposed to do as, representative to you, because you're supposedly their constituent, if they don't want to do what's required in that position, fuck them. You don't vote for them. You withhold your vote. And the Republicans go, well, you're going to give things to the Democrats. No, you're giving things to the Democrats with this election because they're literally trying that with like the guilting and everything else, like with the articles from the legacy media. Not even, well, I'll call them the legacy media because they've become like the legacy media. But like, Ben Shapiro, with his little publication, okay? You've got Breitbart, you've got others. They're going, well, you're going to hand everything over to the Democrats. It's like, no, you never Trump, like with Shapiro. It's like, hey, asshole, you never Trump piece of shit. You're sitting there coming in your fucking shorts, okay, because you're about to get rid of Trump. And you're saying that people should shut up and vote Republican? You're having your lackeys report that at your little outlet? Dude, get bent. Take your little circumcised little microcock, stick it back in your pants, and go to hell. Seriously. All right, Breitbart? Go to hell. All of you, go to hell. Weaponize your vote, people. Let them see what happens when they screw you over. Because the thing is if they'll stab Trump in the back right in front of everyone, you can't trust them to not stab you in the back. Okay, to stab their supposed constituents in Georgia in the back. You have no proof that they won't do that. You actually have more proof that they will. Because if they'll stab the president in the back right in front of you, they'll do it to you. You can't trust that they're not going to bend over because they're weak, like establishment Republicans are, or are going to make backroom deals because they're rhino neocon scumbags. You have no reason to trust them. You have to let them know. You want my vote? You got to do what I want you to do because you work for me. That's how this works. That's how it's supposed to work. Anyway, yeah, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.